Welcome back to Down the Stretch, everyone. Guest co-host John Preachy sitting in for Mike Veach to my left. I'm Mark Asano, and the Indiana Derby in an upset went to Tin Cup Chalice. You know, it's interesting. The track announcer pronounced acai perfectly, which is very difficult to do, but for some reason wanted to call Tin Cup Chalice Tin Cup Chalice. And as I say, never listen to Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett has a song with Tin Cup Chalice in there. Tin Cup Chalice is a very, very nice New York bred, and our special guest this morning is a local owner of a wonderful New York bred, an undefeated sprinter who retired this past week. That sprinter is Bustin' Stones, and his owner joining us live via telephone, Mr. Roddy Valente. Roddy, Mark, and John Preachy welcoming you back to Down the Stretch.
Good morning, Mark and John. How are you?
Good, Roddy. How are you?
What's up, Roddy?
Very good, thank you.
Roddy, why did you retire Bustin' Stones at this point?
Basically, Mark, it just came down to, ever since before the Vanderbilt, the foot bruise just was persistent, and Bruce couldn't train him the way he wanted to train him. And we thought we had him, gave him enough time, and he 2-minute licked him about a week ago, and he didn't respond the way we wanted him. And he's been too good to us, and we just elected at that point that we didn't want to tarnish his record being he was undefeated, and more so just wanted to do the right thing by the horse and retire him down.
Well, as you said, undefeated in 6 career starts. Roddy, what was your personal highlight of his career?
You know, Mark, every race that he had was a highlight because he had just such speed, and he brought, I don't know, he just brought so much excitement to a small guy like myself that, bred this horse. And every time he ran, he just amazed me. And, Juliet asked me which race you wanted to show today, and I'll tell you, every race was so meaningful. He just leaves a special flavor in my mouth. So it was just a thrill to have campaigned Bustin' Stones.
Well, we're about to take a look at a piece of the Grade 1 Carter. Roddy, how much more special was it that he was a homebred?
Believe me, Mark, I've said this, and when I talk about breeding a Grade 1, I just can't even correlate to that for the game that I've been playing for so long. It's just been so special, and I honestly, I thank God that I just had the opportunity to ever win a Grade 1, and the breed 1 is just so special.
And Roddy, he had to have surgery done. He came back from surgery and arguably was a better horse, and that is very, very rare.
You know, Mark, he was better because he got to finally compete at that level. But before his injury, as a 3-year-old, if you had the time to go back and you watched his first 3 races, and especially his 3rd race when Prado rode him for the first time, Bruce said to me, he said, Roddy, this horse is a freak. I mean, and he said, I have never, ever been around a horse that did it so easy. And when Prado said the same thing, and Dominguez said the same thing, I mean, these guys are very talented horsemen, and for them to speak that highly of him, it just, he's just got to be a special horse.
Roddy, talk to our audience for a moment about the Stallion deal. Things are set. Where will he stand? How much will he stand for?
He's at Waldorf Farm, which Dr. Jerry Belinsky owns. And it's kind of nice because it's just in North Chatham, and, it's basically 5 minutes from the old Kinderhook Golf Course. And, I got an opportunity to go down to see him this week, and it's a perfect setting for me because it's close to home, and, I could share in, basically, hopefully him becoming a good stallion. And he's going to stand for $6,500, and we have shares that we are selling at $20,000, which would give you a lifetime breeding right to Bustin' Stones. So there's been a lot of activity with that, being that we just came out with it last week.
Roddy, what traits do you think Bustin' Stones will, I guess, bring to his offspring? What do you think he's going to pass along in his genes?
I really feel that you know, he's going to be a good substitute for City Zip, who, you know, naturally moved on to Kentucky. But I talked to Gus Schonborn, who had City Zip there, and he basically said that City Zip never had the speed that Boston Stones had. So, you know, there's so many races that they write in New York for sprinters, and, you know, Bruce always wanted to run this horse a mile, and he thought he would get it. But, I mean, with the races that are